I got the remedies today to cure your day. Pretty good slogan, right? They should have hired me. They should have hired me to do their slogan. Missed opportunity. What's going on, guys? CardMechanic here, and today I'm going to be teaching you a card trick that'll blow your spectators away. Like, blow them away. Let's do it. Okay, welcome everybody. Fun fact, this is my second take because my entire first take my mic wasn't on, so here we are today. But anyway, if you guys have not yet checked out the performance, I'll put the link on the screen and description so you can go ahead and do that. Now, before we get started, just a little bit of background on this trick. We don't really need these cards, put them over to the side. A little bit of background. This trick is known as magic in your own hands, and it is a favorite by Cliff Green. So let's go ahead and break it down. Now, what do you need for this trick? I highly recommend that you have a deck of cards, because without a deck of cards, this trick may be impossible. So grab a deck and let's get started. Now, there is a bit of a setup required. So starting off, the setup is on top, you want a 7-spot card. So again, value 7 spots on it. Bam. On the bottom, you want an 8-spot card. So 8 spots. And second to the bottom, you want a 9-spot card, but you want to actually turn it facing the other way and then have the 8 on the bottom. So from top down, the deck looks like this. You have the 7 on top. You go all the way down here. You have a face-up 9 and then an 8 face down on the bottom. And from here, you're all set up and ready to go. Now, just like any other setup card trick, when you first take the cards out of the box, you want to give the deck some kind of fake shuffle, fake cuts. So if you guys don't know how to do that, I have a couple of videos on it. I'll put the tutorial on the link. What am I saying? I'll put the link to the tutorial on the screen and description so you guys can go check that out. Now, that was correct. All right, so we give the deck a couple false cuts, shuffles, whatever it is. And now you want to go ahead and have the spectator select a card. But while you're doing this, you also want to grab a break under the top 6 cards. So this is what I recommend. I like to go through the cards like this and tell the spectator that I'm going to go through the cards like this in a minute. You're going to call out stop, and we're going to take the card you stopped at. Any questions? No. They usually say no. Sometimes I get a yes, but they're just stupid. But anyway, to grab that break under the top 6 cards, here's what I do. I go 3 cards, and then I push the 7th card down, and then I continue going like this. Now, when you push this card down, you don't want to push it down too much so it's sticking out like this. That looks dumb. You want to make it just slightly sticking out so the spectator can't really see from the front view, and you're all covered when you're doing this. So, what prevents them from picking one of these cards is I'm still talking while I'm doing this. So I usually just say, I want to start going through the deck like this. You just tell me where to stop. Okay, so I go through again. See, I got my card there. Go like this. Let's just say they say stop here, and they stopped at this card, the 2 of clubs. Now from here, I square up this deck, but again, I'm still keeping that break, and I keep the deck tilted at an angle towards me. So from the front view, the spectator can't see anything. If I did this, the spectator can clearly see a card sticking out. So they have the 2 here. They're taking a look at it. When they're doing this, you want to grab a break right above this card. So I push down with my thumb forward. So now you have an easy thumb break right there. Now from this point, you want to actually lift up the cards. You're going to tell the spectator they're going to put the card somewhere in the center. So you lift up the cards, have them place the card right there. Now, a couple things when you're actually picking these cards up. Right, you want to keep in mind, these are actually only 6 cards, but you want to make it seem to the spectator that this is about a half or a third of the deck, right? So you're picking it up like this. So what I recommend when picking it up, you want to pick it up kind of like this. I have the cards stuck right about here between middle finger and ring finger. I have the cards here. I lied. I have the cards here between my pinky and ring finger, and I'm holding the cards like this. I have the corner on my middle finger, and I'm holding the cards like this. And what I'm doing is I'm not doing it straight like this. I'm doing it facing the spectator so they think I'm holding a decent chunk. If I do this, there's a chance that they can kind of see on the side here, or maybe even on the front if I'm not holding properly, that these are just a few cards. So boom, there we go. Ask the spectator to place the card there. They place it there. And now when you're putting these cards back on top, you want to throw them a little harder than usual, because you want to make it seem like this is actually about half the deck. So again, just a little bit of power so it sounds the same as if you're actually dropping half the deck. Now this is where the real magic begins. This is where The pedal is, what's the phrase? I don't remember the phrase, so we're just gonna skip that part and just ignore what I said. Anyway, the point is, this is where the fun part happens, because here you'll be manipulating the spectator to select either one of 4 numbers, which is 6, 7, 8, or 9. Okay, and these are the only numbers the spectator can pick, but you want to make it seem to the spectator that you're giving them a choice to pick any number they want. And this is where the trick gets fun. Now, when I'm doing this, I tell the spectator to pick a low number, but just not make it too low. At this point, they generally tend to pick a number between 5 and 10, depending on how you say it, how firm you are with saying it. And that's really what sells this trick. Because, I mean, if they say the number 45, you're screwed, okay? So you want to make it seem like you're giving them a free choice, but you want them to pick 6, 7, 8, or 9, okay? And now, of course, there are always some spectators like, oh, I want to pick 52, or no, I want to pick the number 1 or 0. You just gotta handle those people. Those are hecklers. You gotta deal with them everywhere. So for those situations, I'd recommend just telling the spectator to straight up pick a number between 5 and 10, okay? And for example, let's say they pick the number 4, let's say, then you can tell them, I want to make it a bit difficult, pick a higher number, just a little bit higher. So then they tend to pick 6, 7, 8, you know, something like that. So, yeah, that's what that is. And honestly, I gotta say, it is a really great feeling when the spectator actually picks one of the numbers you want them to pick. You're just like, oh yes, I did it. It's very satisfying. So, let's just go through each of the situations. So now at this point, you have the deck here. You want to hand the deck over to the spectator. You have them give their hand out. Place the deck on the spectator's hands. Now let's walk through each situation. Let's say they pick the number 6. You're going to have them deal off 6 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you're going to have them take a look at the next card. That'll be their selected card, the 2 of clubs. Now, what happens if they pick the number 7? Well, if you remember during the setup, we have a 7-spot card on top. So you tell the spectator, I knew you were going to pick the number 7, and you tell them, take a look at the top card. So you're like, oh wow, it was a number 7, you're pretty good, but where's my card? And then you tell them to count to the 7th card. So they count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there's the selected card. Now, let's say the spectator picks the number 8, right? So we have this here. If the spectator picks the number 8, I actually recommend that you take the deck back from the spectator, right? You take the deck back and you show them, look at the bottom card, it's the number 8. Now from here, you want to actually take the bottom card and put it on top. But while you're doing this, you want to ensure that you're not flashing the second to bottom card. So you take this card, put it on top face up, and now you tell the spectator, we're going to count to the 8th card. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And again, there's a spectator selected card. Now, what happens if they pick the number 9? This is probably one of my favorites, actually. Again, the deck is in the spectator's hands. They give the deck a cut, spread the deck out, and they see, wow, there's the number 9. How did you know I would pick that number? I'm a genius, that's how I know, okay? So now you tell them to count to the number 9, 9 cards to the left, starting with this card. So you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or they count to 9. And again, there's their selected card. And there you guys have it, magic in your own hands. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought of this trick, and then go and check out that one because it's cool. I'll see you there. Peace out.